Hi and welcome back. In this video we're going to take a look at variable types in C++, and specifically the ones we're going to take a look at are the type integer, which is shown by this here, int. Double is another one. We're going to take a look at that. Think of that as anything with a decimal. We're going to look at char, we're going to look at string, and we're going to look at boolean. So here's the different variable types that we have here. This one is an integer, and we're declaring this variable here, type integer, and we're going to assign it an initial value of 12. So we can do that, and don't forget the semicolon after that. Next, we are declaring a double here. This is put in the variable name type double, and it's going to be declared and equal to 7.89. Notice that we have a decimal here, so that is different from int. We must have double if we're going to have a decimal value here. A char is of type alphanumeric, so if we have a letter of the alphabet or a number or a special character, we can put this in here if we want to treat it as an alphanumeric and do something with a letter or a number. Notice that if we assign it, we only have single quotes here. So in this case here we have single quote E, single quote. So watch that when you are declaring type char. We've got a string down here, and we are taking the string hello. A string is just a number of characters put together, can be alphanumeric, and they are put together and inside quotations or double quotations specifically. And we're going to store that in a variable name called type string. The last one here is the bool type or boolean, and a boolean type is simply true or false. That is what is stored in boolean. So there are a number of different variable types here. I suggest that you play with each of these and just see how these work. Let's try a different couple things here just so you understand. If I click on run here, and you can see that our program does compile and run. This is an integer 12. This is a double 7.89. This is an alphanumeric. In other words, this is a char, and that's the letter E. This is a string, hello, and this is boolean, and it shows as a 1, which in programming we can identify as true as well. So if I did something like this, for instance, if I go here and I'm going to put in type integer 12.5, now it's no longer a integer type, and you can see that we get something underlined here. And if we try to run this, you're going to see that yes, it does cause an error, and it says, do we want to change the value? And we don't. We want to make sure that we assign it right. So make sure for int it is only of integer type. We need to change that back. What if I take 7.89 as a double and I change it to just 7? If I run that, is that going to be an error? Well, let's try it. And no, it's not. It doesn't, because remember, it may or may not have a decimal. It doesn't matter. If we don't know, it might or might not have a decimal value for an answer, we should declare it as a double just to make sure. Why wouldn't we use a double all the time then for all numbers? Well, we are concerned about the space and the amount of memory that our program takes up. So if it is an integer, we should just use an integer. If we need a decimal value, we will click on double. Char, remember that we have single quotes. If we do use double quotes on this here and we try to run it, you can see that it does give us an error. So make sure for char we have a single quote and a single quote. So here are some different variable types that you can use in your programs. we have to declare them correctly, and we're going to work with more of these later on. This video just shows you some of the variable types that you can have in your C++ program. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.